My name is Peter Lorenz. I'm a sound designer and sound editor for documentary movies and sound effects editor and Foley recordist and editor for TV and film. Back in the days where we had silent movies, the silent films, they were all accompanied by an orchestra maybe or piano players in the cinema, so they weren't as silent as we referred to. The first feature-length movie was then in 1927, the film The Jazz Singer. This was the first feature-length motion picture with synchronized dialogue sequences and was produced by Warner Brothers. This film was the first film that had the basic sound components in it that we still use today. It was dialogue, music, and sound effects. During the screening of this movie, the movie begins like all regular silent movies at that time. So you had a little bit of orchestra, then you had a chart that would say, okay, this person just said this and this and this, and then again the orchestra played and the action went on, and you couldn't see any people talking in the movie, or if they were talking, it was silent. And then about not directly in the beginning of the movie, but 10 minutes after the movie started, something like that, you could actually see a person talking the first time, a synchronized dialogue on screen. Apocalypse Now. This was the first movie with stereo surround sound, and I don't know if you saw this movie where you have the helicopters flying over you. It was huge in that time, hearing that. And this film, or during production of this film, the term sound design was first used by Walter Murch and Francis Ford Coppola, because Francis Ford Coppola insisted on a special picture design, a visual design, and then he said, okay, I need a special guy in post-production who just makes a good sound, and he has to design the sound, and the term was born, sound design. The picture is mainly showing the information of what's happening where, and who's talking to whom, what is, and so on and so on. And the sound is mainly creating an emotion. So there are some parts where you say, okay, the picture is also, or has some emotional stuff in it, and the sound is also having some information in it, but mainly pictures showing information, sound mainly creating an emotion. To achieve a good sound design, you have basically 5 layers in your soundtrack to work with. You have a dialogue, you have atmospheres, you have, of course, sound effects, you have music, which is an own department, but I just contain it to a good sound design. It is the music also. And you have Foleys as a special department from the sound effect guys. All sound effects do have a special function, and the sound designer, you have to find the right sound for that function to keep it believable. The viewer mustn't sit in the cinema and say, oh, this sound, I don't believe this. Then you did your wrong job. So the people, the audience should say, okay, I believe you. I believe what I'm seeing. And in the same time, it should not attract a lot of attention away from the whole product of the whole movie. So if you have a fast car driving by, you say, okay, it's a fast car driving by. But not, this tire skid was very good, and very good design, I like this. Zack, boom, you're out of the movie. You can forget the story. It's like, in sound effects, the same as you have a great camera movement, and the people should not notice this camera movement. They just have to watch the movie. This is what we want. But the other Foley is a special way of creating sound effects. And the other Foley is putting sounds in sync in real time in a studio. And you're creating sound effects for what characters do in the studio. If somebody's putting a cup on the table while speaking, you would put some cloth underneath the cup so it wouldn't sound actually like a cup putting on the table. So this sound you have to create afterwards. You can use sound effect libraries for this.